Hey, what up, y'all? Good evening. Happy Wednesday to you. Tapping back in for another video. Excuse me for the lighting. I'm getting ready to go on a food run. Those of you who live in the DMV area may already know this, but a brand new Zaxby's opened up in Waldorf today. And so I'm going to drive myself down from PG County to Charles County for Zaxby's. Now there's one out in Chantilly, but I'm not I'm not driving 50 miles for some chicken. So been waiting all summer for this one to open. So I am definitely looking forward to enjoying some Zaxby's. Now, this evening's video is for the ladies, and this topic that I'm going to discuss is something that you all should know is important to you, but unfortunately it gets used as a weapon, and it gets mishandled and used irresponsibly. And ladies, that's your womb. Your womb, that is the thing that can create life. By way of sperm traveling to an egg to fertilize it, and then a baby begins to grow within you. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic today is because, ladies, that's your superpower. Your superpower is your womb. That is the most precious thing you all possess within your body. Is that is the keys to the kingdom. That is the end all, be all for a lot of guys. It shouldn't be that, but for a lot of guys, that's the case. The reason why it's the most precious thing that you all possess is because for a man, that is his way to, quote unquote, try you out. A lot of guys feel as though that they have to try it out first before they know whether they're going to be attracted to you or not. And I'm simply here to say that is not the case, because there's nothing that is different from one to the next, from woman to woman. It has the same function. It does the same thing. You all have a menstrual cycle every month. Yeah, you can nuance things about it, but the job and the responsibility that it has is the same. And so for guys, that is our one-way ticket in determining whether you are going to be a long-term investment or short-term husband. And let me explain. I tell women that I know all the time to keep your legs closed. Protect yourself. Because if you decide that you're going to basically give up the most precious thing you possess for basically nothing, for the sake of getting a release, for the sake of getting your rocks off, now you have devalued yourself. Now, in this man's eyes, your value isn't as high now. Now, in this man's eyes, he doesn't have to work as hard. He doesn't have to do anything else from that moment forward. Because you've already given up your most prized possession to this man without him even being your husband. Now, to this man, psychologically speaking, now in his mind, he's saying to himself, wow, okay, she allowed me access. She allowed me to make entry to the most valuable thing she possesses, and I didn't have to work for it. I didn't have to do nothing. And so when a man realizes that, most men would say to themselves, she's not a wife. She's not my wife. Because if he was allowed access without really having to do anything, in his mind, he may also be thinking, okay, well, if I was allowed access, who else was allowed access? How many other guys were allowed access to her body, to her, besides myself? Ladies, these are the sorts of things that we think about as guys. We ask ourselves these questions. Man, wow, okay, that was real easy. Now, I can't really take you serious because you don't respect yourself as much as you think you do. Because you're giving away the most valuable thing you possess for almost nothing. Because think about it from this standpoint, ladies. When you keep your legs closed to a man that is not your husband, now you put the pressure on him. And I want you all to really pay attention to what I'm saying. You put the pressure on him to show you whether he is serious about courting you, he is serious about dating you, he is serious about building a foundation in terms of a relationship with you. Now you shine a spotlight on him in a way in which, yeah, like those actions by which he shows up and shows you has to match his interest level in you. Because by denying a man access to your body, you're going to separate the contenders from the pretenders. You're basically telling this man, you are not allowed to have my body until you commit to me in the form of marriage. Everything by which that man does from that day up until marriage, if it gets to that point, it's going to be in order to get access to you. Because most men want kids. Most men want to have that intimate connection with their woman. So by withholding that access, you're forcing him to put his money where his mouth is, to show you, all right, let's see how much you really want to be with me now. Let's see how much you decide you want to stick around. Since I didn't make it that easy on you to simply just have immediate access to me. Let's see. And he's going to, and I'm telling you, he's going to show you through his actions whether he really in it or not. And if he's not, well, he's just going to ghost you. He's going to disappear. He's going to pivot, and then he's going to try to get it from somewhere else. And when you see that, well, then you know what type of man you were dealing with, what type of frame of mind he was in. So, yes, that is why it is important, and we've all made the mistake. Most of us are now virgins. But what I would say is, just because that's the case, that does not mean you cannot abstain. That does not mean you can't revert back to saving yourself, because you absolutely can. You're going to show and tell this man, yeah, I have a lot more respect for myself. I want to wait until marriage. And that's going to help you determine what type of quality man you have. That's going to help you determine why he's there. But if you keep giving it out just freely, you're lowering your value. Because again, ladies, you all are born with your value. And so the more men that has access to your body, or that have had access to your body, the lower your value is, whether you realize it or not. And God forbid if any man ever truly finds out how many men have had access to you, it's not going to be good for you in terms of how he sees you and views you. And part of the beauty in us courting a woman is being able to use our imagination. And what I mean by that is, when our grandparents, great-grandparents, parents were growing up, a lot of men didn't get access to women and their bodies immediately. You know, typically a lot of women waited till marriage. And by us having to wait, you force us to wonder, man, I wonder what it's like. You force us to work harder, work overtime to get to that place where we can enjoy you. We can have that connection with you. And you don't have to say more than 2 words. But by just simply withholding it, there's so much power within you doing that. And again, like I said, you're going to separate the contenders from the pretenders. You're really going to be able to figure out what type of man you're working with. Whether this man is really there trying to build a genuine, organic connection with you, or whether he just wants a quick transaction. So I want you all to think about this. Fellas, also understand what I was saying in this message. Because simply put, when a woman provides access to us, we in our minds don't really have to work as hard because we've already gained access to her. She gave us the keys to the kingdom. And so from there, we kind of just go through the motions. Because we already received it. We already got it. So I want y'all to keep this in mind. Think about this. Talk to your family, friends about what I discussed. And really ask those difficult questions. Have those difficult conversations. Flip the script. Because right now, everything evolves around sex. Everything. The world practically revolves around sex. You have kids as young as 7, 8 years old knowing what's what because of their friends.